Hello and welcome back to another great edition of the MPTV Coaches Show. Eric Myers, Ryan Lindley, and Coach Lindley. The weather wasn't exactly great, but it wasn't exactly frightful. And we got to play outside.
Got to play outside. A few games or meets, events that occurred in a little bit of rain, but again, a week where most things got going as scheduled. That's always positive.
Big shout out right now to the MCUSD grounds crew and all these maintenance guys that got all these fields, all these tracks, everything ready to go, and some pretty hairy weather. I mean, definitely wet out there, but they got everything to go. So much shout out to our people who out there who took care of all of our fields, our pitches, our courts, everything got us ready to play for Morton Athletics in the past week or so, because it's definitely not been an easy task.
It has not been, and we appreciate all of them and some of the volunteers that even came out to help. So big thank you to everybody involved.
So speaking of easy tasks, let's go into track. Something that most people would just think on the surface is kind of easy. Oh, you just run in circles, you throw a little weight. But it's really not. So tell me what's happened in track.
Yes, let's talk boys track, conference champs. We've been avoiding. We're talking about trying to avoid the weather. One thing as a coach where you want to have water on you is when you get that Gatorade dumped on you as the conference champ. And Coach Tucker got that last night.
You got the Gatorade back?
He got the Gatorade
What
back.
color was it?
I think it might have just been water, to be completely honest. But I mean, like, pretty good, right? Conference champs, first time since the late 90s. So, I mean, really exciting for our boys track team.
Yeah, a great job right there. And those guys are going to head off to sectionals, regionals first. But bringing that all right there. Actually, so let's shift gears. Let's go to girls track. Heading to sectionals today, Wednesday, right?
Yeah, today, Wednesday, as we're recording this, girls track is literally leaving as we're talking to you. And, I mean, the expectation's pretty high. I mean, we talked to Coach Zeller, way early on, and he talked about the ability of this team to score a lot of points because they've got talent in the relays, they've got talent in the sprints, distance. So, I mean, the opportunity to be successful is out there, and we'll see what that happens.
Yeah, and more school records could fall as we keep heading down this postseason for track. Let's talk of another conference championship, girls soccer.
Yeah, girls soccer, 5-0 win over Washington. That clinches the conference title. And what's kind of cool about it is last few years, they've shared a conference title or finished second. So they've been right on the verge of this. So to actually get an outright conference title is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach DeLong is stoked about that one right there. To not have to share it with anybody, it's just my trophy. I got it right there, which is pretty awesome. So shout out to our ladies on the pitch right there. They're moving towards their postseason pretty quick as well. What else we got? Let's go baseball.
Yeah, so baseball, tough loss against Dunlap on Monday. They're going to get the rematch this evening and get a chance to kind of get back there. They did have a big win on senior night against Bloomington Central Catholic, 7-5 victory there. So, I mean, the baseball team 20 wins now, so that's always a mark in
Huge
baseball.
Mark.
Yeah, you want to reach 20, and they're getting ready for postseason in 2 weeks.
Yeah, not only that, postseason, what was our seed?
Number 1 seed overall in our subsectional, so good stuff there. And it's going to be a tough subsectional, there's no doubt about it. I mean,
Correct.
the other side includes Joliet Catholic, who's number 2 ranked in the state. So, I mean, the one thing is it could be really exciting, though, to follow baseball postseason this year.
For sure about that. And speaking of conference championship, there's currently a 4-way tie for first place in the Mid-Atlantic Conference for baseball, so lots of good baseball to be played. Like we said, though, tonight versus Dunlap, which you're not going to see, but hopefully we win this game. But next week we're going to play Washington, so that'll be a great opportunity right there to come out to Westwood Park and watch those games. So let's go softball. How's softball rolling?
So softball, I mean, let's talk seeds for them. Number 3 seed in their subsectional. Just think about where they were when we started the year. We talked to Coach Beyer. The discussion was kind of trying to build the program and get to double-digit wins. And you finish, number 3 in your subsectional out of 8. That's a pretty good accomplishment in the first year for Coach Beyer.
That's a huge accomplishment right there. I know exceeded expectations. Won some big games, right? Prepared themselves for this postseason. Today, Wednesday, they're going to play Illini Bluffs. It's a really tough. They're going to play U-High this week, right? They have a lot of big games coming up, which hopefully is going to propel them into the postseason with some confidence.
Absolutely, and I'm really anxious to see kind of this one because Illini Bluffs really strong small school program, so a really good chance to kind of measure where we're at.
Yeah, well, I think previous state champs.
State champ.
Really good.
Yeah.
Small school program right there. Let's talk about bass fishing. You familiar with this?
Why don't you jump in on this one?
So bass fishing competed last week at the sectionals, and we got 4th place out of like 16 boats or so. So top 25%. Just outside that weight, though, that we don't get to go to state, but we are the alternate for state. So hats off to our IHSA bass fishing team right there. Cool sport we got going there.
That's good stuff, though.
And then let's let you finish us out with tennis.
So, yeah, I mean, boys tennis obviously continues to be successful. They're preparing for their postseason. We got Carter Kendall, the number 1 spot, doing very well. So we're looking at, again, kind of tennis, a little bit of a slow start, not because of anything they did, but just because of the weather kind of.
I think that's a fair way.
Yeah, the weather kind of. Yeah, the weather kind of kept them off the courts, and so they're adding in some matches, trying to get in rhythm, and hopefully, as they head into that postseason, they're ready to roll.
Yeah, which would be awesome. So, Coach, you got any final thoughts as we wrap this up today?
Let's do this. Let's close the same way we did last week. We got some seniors that once again we talked to, kind of give us their insight into not just their high school past experience, but what they're going to do next year in college. So let's take a look at those. Welcome back. Ryan Lindley here now with Allie Gordon. And Allie, kind of talking to seniors, sort of highlights your high school career, et cetera. So let's start with this. High school cheerleading, what are some of the highlights?
I would have to say the highlight from this year was definitely our comp team. That was so cool to be on a senior as on the first year team and get to start something awesome that will continue for many years to come.
Awesome. And then just kind of looking back, maybe even before that, like something that what's the thing that maybe got you into cheerleading as a youngster that kind of is taking you through this?
Well, I've been cheering for about 15 years, so it's kind of always been a constant in my life. I'm not quite sure what I would do without it, so it fills up a lot of my time.
Awesome. And then talk to me about what you're going to do next year.
So I'm going to cheer at Illinois State next year, and I'm going to be an elementary education major, and I'm very excited.
Awesome. And then advice. So you're like a freshman coming into high school, thinking about doing cheer. Like, what's the advice do you give that kid?
I would definitely say positivity is something to make sure you have, because that's one of the things that is looked for most for tryouts and consistently through the rest of the year. And it just makes the whole team work better and the whole year go smoothly.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for talking to us, and good luck next year.
Thank you.
We're back for another senior spotlight. We got Joe Campbell here. And Joe, the shirt kind of gives it away, but talk to us about what you're going to be doing next year.
Next year, my plan is to attend St. Ambrose University to play soccer, and I'm going to major in physical therapy.
Awesome. Let's go back a little bit and talk high school career and the success that you had. What are some of your favorite memories of the high school soccer career?
My favorite memory is my junior year when we won conference and we made it to super sectionals and we tied the best record of Mormon history.
That's good stuff. Let's go way back now. We'll just keep going farther and farther back. What got you into soccer, like as a youngster?
Well, I've been playing soccer since I was around 6 years old, and I was just experimenting in all sports, and that's the sport I fell in love with.
Awesome. And so we went backwards. Let's go forwards a little bit. You mentioned physical therapy, big picture. What are some of the goals you have, going through college and maybe even after?
Well, my goal is to end up getting my master's and get my doctorate in physical therapy, and my goal is just to work at the same physical therapy company that I got physical therapy from.
Awesome.
That's what made me want to major.
That's awesome. And then last thing before we let you go, let's say you got a freshman coming into high school. What advice do you give that kid?
My biggest advice would be just to show up and have good positivity, going into things and try new things.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Joe. We appreciate it. Good luck next year. Stick around, folks. We'll be back after this. Welcome back here, Ryan Lindley with Evan Barlow, and Evan's back joining us. We talked to him during basketball season. Now we're going to go kind of holistic. Just your senior, you're in literally your last week of high school. Talk to me about your high school athletic experience. What are some of the highlights when you look back?
Yeah, definitely football freshman year is the first time I ever played, so that whole year was very fun. I recommend everybody as a freshman to play football. Kind of teaches you a different aspect of life. Sophomore year football, being coached by Lindley, that was fun. Some of the creative plays we could make up, that was always the best time in football for sure. And then playing basketball year round every year with the guys, and then switching over to Coach Zeller. That was probably my favorite experience, was just a new coaching style, playing fast. That's kind of what I do. So yeah, between basketball and football is probably my favorite highlights of my high school career.
Awesome. And you're going to continue your basketball career in college. So talk a little bit about that, where you're going, how you decided that, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, going to Florida Gulf Coast to play. I'm leaving here in a little over a month just to go play. Kind of chose that, going down there with family and friends in the area, and kind of made it easy. And then talking with the coaches, the team, everybody was just like family right away. Then living on a beach on campus is just adds into that, but everything else is just perfect down there.
Awesome. Obviously, aside from, I assume, getting to visit the beach a bunch, what are some of your goals when you get down there?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm majoring in entrepreneurship, so I want to be able to start my own business by the time I get out of college, and also be able to graduate within 3 years. I'm looking to push tempo, get things done, being able to take summer classes every year, so kind of get things done early, and that way I can relax senior year.
Sounds pretty nice. What about maybe some advice? If you had, somebody just coming into just coming into high school, you mentioned play football freshman year, good experience, which I totally agree with. What else would you maybe tell somebody that's a young athlete just about to enter high school?
work on your grades. Even though it sounds like everyone says it, the grades is what gets you to the next level. If you want to play sports, grades is what they look at. If you have good grades, you can get on just about any team, no matter how good you are. You can boost GPA of the team. A lot of coaches are looking for that. So if you focus on your grades, get in the classroom, study hard, you'll be really good and set for your future.
Awesome, Evan. Well, thank you for taking some time. Congratulations on a great high school career, and good luck at Florida Gulf Coast.
Thank you.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Senior Spotlights. Once again, Gabby Hassinger here, and we're talking dance. And so we'll start with that. So, high school dance experience, what were some of your highlights?
I think my whole senior season was the best time of high school dance team, especially UDA camp in July for summer. It was super fun. It's a super good way to bond with the team before the season, and we also get to compete there for first place. So
awesome.
It's super fun.
That's awesome. Let's go way back a little bit. How'd you get into dance? Like, was that something that as a kid you were like drawn to, or how'd you end up doing this?
So I actually hated dance when I first started it when my mom made me do it, but then I got invited to be on my studio's competitive team, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a big deal. Like I thought it was such a big deal. So I joined it, and then it made me love dance.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you love it so much, it's something you want to keep doing. So talk to us about what you're going to do next year.
So I plan to attend Purdue University and major in marketing while dancing on their dance team there.
That is tremendous. And so and this is a question we've been asking everybody. So let's say you got a girl, she's coming into high school, she wants to be on the dance team. What advice do you give her?
I think the biggest things are optimism, because it's a dance team, so you got to be very optimistic always, and always just enjoy it. If you don't look like you're enjoying it, then I promise you they're not going to really want you on the team. So I also think just constantly work hard, be very dedicated to the team, and just commit. When you're committed to the team, stay committed, because that's super important.
That's awesome. Well, Gabby, thank you very much. And folks, stick around. We'll be right back.